Good morning. Peace and love to each and everyone out there in the world. Adoration. Adoration to creation, to the generations of the Most High, to every boy and girl, every young man, every young woman, all the elders, to every creatures of creation, to the plants, to the birds, to the bees, to the trees, everything. Blessed good morning, Anna. It's a real pleasure to be, witnessing life, continual process of life. It's so beautiful when you think about it. It's awesome, simply amazing. Shaya, beautiful. So, I am Boom Vineyard, son of Chillers. This is a Chillers production. And this one is entitled A Grand New Time. Yes. It's time we do something new. Let's change the world. Let's do it. Let's just do it. It's been like this for too long. Let's just change the world. So, what we have to do in order to change the world, we have to start from the very foundation, the very basis of things, from where things start, which is the God. Some people say God, the source, energy, the source of life, where all life springs from. So we're going to do a new thing by changing the foundation upon which things are built. Most fundamental, namely God, the conception of God. Now, how do we know God? Is the source of life or the source of inspiration? To know God, is it in a book? Is it in just one book? Or is it in the generations of God? And I'm saying generation because I don't really like using the word creation so much. Because creation to me, in a sense, implies that all the generations of God, everything that we see, plants, birds, animals, humanity, all the insects, all the different aspects of life, all the different variations of life. I rather to think of them as the generation, just generated, just came into being from God, rather than creation. Because when we think about creation and the word creator, it kind of implies something different from yourself. For instance, I'm speaking to you. I'm making this on my iPhone. This plug on my iPhone. This iPhone is not flesh. It's not blood. But it is somebody's creation. So somebody, human being, take material that is non-human, and based upon observation and experimentation, they figure out if you put 1 and 1 together, it multiplies, it equals 2. So by getting different materials, be it germanium, silicone, and making semiconductors and electronics components, and making all these things, putting them in series and parallel and stuff like that, causing different things to happen, and they create these beautiful technologies. But these technologies are not created from flesh and bone. So when I hear the word creator, this is the way I think of it, like somebody really creating something from material other than themselves. And so that's when in referring to God, I don't like to use the word creator or creation, because to me it implies that God, you know, made things, or things was made different from material, different from God, and therefore it brings a separation between God and man. And there, in my opinion, lies the problems of the world, because God is separated from man. Even in like Christian theology, or stuff like that, it is said that, man man is separated from God. They speak about from in back in the Bible, speak of when God made Adam and Eve, and then they sinned, and then God drove them out of the garden because they became separated from God. And then Adam now is known, sometimes is referred to as the first Jesus, or Jesus is referred to as the second Adam, whereas now they said Jesus is the bridge whereby man can reconcile with God. So they imply that there's a separation between God and man. So you need some sort of bridge to bridge the gap, which is where them say grace come in, because man is so wicked that God had to send his only begotten son to die so man could bridge back to God. So I don't like to use the word creator, because it implies that everything that we see is separate from God, and that's why they come up with all these flawed concepts. If God is a man, then yeah, we must be separated from God, because listen, everything else, what about everything was created? What about everything? That means it's like implying all those things. If God is a man, then if God is a man, then the plant is something that's separate from God. The water is something that's separate from God. See, because man can only bring forth after man. Everything in creation can only bring forth after themselves. If you plant orange, you get orange. You plant tomato, you get tomato. If a man and a woman conceive, they're going to bring forth a human. So if God is just a man, then everything that God creates is separate from himself. And that's where the problem lies. The problem, the theology that they give to the world, the concept of God that was given to the world, separates God and man. So that formulates a real problem, and this is the reason why the world is the way it is. Now, to know God, if you really want to know God and escape these flaw concept that was given to you of God, is to see God more as a generator rather than a creator. Meaning, everything we see just came into being. Just like the hair now, if a ball this hair off our head, this hair is just gonna naturally generate. It's just gonna naturally grow. At one time we had no hair on our arm. As a kid, as we grow, it's just, as we mature, we get hair on our arms. Here in different various places, our bodies change. If we get a cut, it just naturally heals. These are just natural generation or regeneration. So everything in creation, everything that you can think about, everything that you can see, everything that you can conceive, was generated from this energy, this one energy, this source energy. And if you separate life down from the biggest bodies of life, like from planets and stars, down to the very minute atom, as far as they can separate things, and till they can't go no more, this energy and the principle of life is there, even in the smallest unit of life. Everything is made from the same stuff, the same material. The stone on the ground out there that we think don't have life is made from the same material as flesh and blood. They are all different variations of the same source energy. Everything was generated from the same source energy. So when you say God formed man from the dust of the ground, it implies that God came outside one day, say, see the sun and say, me I go make a man. And then start mold up some dirt and shape out a man. That's no. Because when you think about God like that, you separate God from himself. Everything just naturally generated from God. It's a natural occurrence. It's magical. Yes, it's like magic. Yeah, just like when you plant this, when you plant the seed in the dirt with little water, with little sunshine, it just unfolds. It's just a natural unfolding, just starts. Or even when we are conceiving our mother's womb, we are just like a rice grain, and then the unfolding just starts. It's like magic. Well, so everything was created. It's magical. Everything just naturally just generated from God. And then therefore, if everything generated from God, that means the quality of God is in everything. So everything are a part of the body of God. Just like our bodies as human beings are made up by millions of cells and fibers and to generate one single being, me, Boom Vineyard. Well, so everything in creation is in the body of God, is a part of the body of God. And that is what God is. Now, if we were to see God as that, that means when I see you as the part of God, as a very important part of myself. Then if I think of you in this way, I would never pass you on the street and not say good morning. I would never pass you on the street and not say hi. I will never treat you with disrespect. I will never hurt you. If I know that you are a part of me. Because I will never just take a knife and stab myself in the heart, and I just see fire and put my hands in fire. I'm not gonna do that. No. And for people that are doing that, committing suicide, hurting themselves, it implies that something is fundamentally wrong with the concept in the way we see ourselves. So let us renew our minds. Let us do a new thing. Let us see ourselves as who we are. God's. Everything being a part of God, being a part of the body of God. Therefore, we will be able to respect each other and treat each other with love. And by shifting our concept of God, which is the foundation on which everything is built, everything we then erect on such a foundation will be perfect. Because I will know that when I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to God. So I will honor you. I will adore you. You will know that when you're speaking to me, you're speaking to God. So you will honor me. You will adore me. And so we will also adore creation. We'll adore the plants. Adore the animals. Then our whole perception shift. But once we see ourselves as separate from God, and we have to be praying to some God in the sky, and are waiting on a God to return to rescue us, no, not knowing that the power has been here all along. The power is in us all along. The power is with us all along. And we have the power to change the world today just by simple changing our perception, the way we perceive things, the way we look at each other. Let us perceive things from the angle of love and adoration for oneself, meaning God. One love.